Imagine waking up tomorrow and your bank account shows zero. Not hacked, not a glitch, your bank just decided you don't own that money anymore. Sounds insane, right? Well, that's exactly what happened to millions of people when Ubisoft announced that they'd be deleting purchased games from user libraries. Titles people paid full price for, simply gone. No refunds, no warning, just a message saying thanks for your money, but you don't actually own anything. This sparked outrage across social media, but here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't just a gaming problem. Your Kindle books, Amazon can revoke them whenever they want. Your iTunes movies, Apple controls whether you can access them. That $300 online course you bought, the platform can delete it tomorrow without any explanation. We're living in a rental economy disguised as ownership, and one corporate decision can vaporize thousands of dollars you thought you owned. But here's what most people don't realize yet. There's actually a way to solve this, and it's already live. A way to own your digital assets for real, where no corporation can reach into your account and touch what you paid for. In this video, I'm going to show you the sleeping giant blockchain that's building the foundation for real digital ownership. Then I'll reveal the project that's already onboarding thousands of developers and rewarding people who are early. And I'll show you exactly how to position yourself before this opportunity closes. Because by the time this hits mainstream and everyone's talking about it, the best positions will already be locked up. Stay with me because the market is finally starting to heat up and things are about to move fast. Before we dive in, here's a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice. Crypto is high risk. Yes, you can make money, but you can also lose everything. Always do your own research and treat this content as pure education to help you understand the space better. With that being said, let's get into it. That Ubisoft situation isn't an isolated incident. It's actually exposing how fundamentally broken digital ownership really is in our current system. Gaming is the perfect example because this problem hits the fastest and hardest there. Players spend thousands of dollars on games and in-game items, only to watch servers shut down permanently and their entire investment gone overnight. Studios are forced to spend most of their budgets on centralized server infrastructure that crashes during peak times anyway. 1 in 10 studios shut down this year alone, and when they do, they take all their player investments with them. By now, you've probably guessed where I'm going with this. Web3 infrastructure, specifically DePIN, completely changes everything. I've been talking about DePIN on this channel for years, and it's finally showing up in every major use case. DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks, and instead of your purchases living on corporate servers, they exist across thousands of independent nodes that no single company controls. Your digital assets stay on the community network and are genuinely yours. No corporation can delete them because the infrastructure is distributed across a global network of nodes. Gaming is the use case where DePIN gets tested under the most demanding conditions. But DePIN solves the ownership and scaling problem everywhere. AI, data, storage, internet, mapping, and more. The DePIN narrative is getting bigger and bigger. This year has finally been the turning point where we're seeing serious institutional capital flow heavily into DePIN infrastructure. But inside the FireHustle VIP Discord, we've been talking about this for a long time now. We hunt these narratives down early, break down the thesis behind them, and discuss positioning strategies before everyone else catches on. Let's just say that we've really been cooking in there, and the feedback has been great. So if you're interested in leveling up in this space, then check out the link in the description down below. There's even a dedicated section for DePIN. Now, when you look at where crypto is headed long term, real adoption is what separates the winners from the hype. And that's why I think Avalanche is still one of the most underrated projects in the market. Sure, it's not in the top 10 anymore. It's dropped to around 30th in market cap. But what most people don't realize is that Avalanche is still top 10 when it comes to actual money locked and being used on the network. There's more than $1.5 billion on the chain. Avalanche keeps building right under our noses and is the go-to chain for Web3 gaming. It's mainly because devs can make their own dedicated subnets, so games can run without lag, gas fees, or the chaos of just being on the same chain with DeFi projects. That means smoother gameplay, cheaper transactions, and an experience that feels like a regular game, not a crypto app. Big studios like Shrapnel and Off the Grid are already building here because they can control their own ecosystems. When the market finally rotates into the gaming narrative, AVAX could easily climb back up the rankings. And institutions are already positioning themselves quietly accumulating millions in AVAX before the market catches on. If there wasn't something here, then we wouldn't see Grayscale filing for an AVAX ETF. My point here is, you can't ignore the Avalanche ecosystem when you look at what has real potential in this bull run. And that brings us to Warp Gaming, the infrastructure platform that's proving this ownership model actually works. Warp was built by industry veterans who spent decades at Rovio, Jagex, and Miniclip, and they've seen the big problem firsthand and decide to do something about it. The co-founder, Matthew Buxton, built some of gaming's biggest hits and then created Warp to solve this problem. The infrastructure gives game creators all the tools they need to easily build ownership-based economies. Here's what makes Warp different and why it matters. Well, Warp takes care of all of the complex blockchain stuff so developers don't have to. They provide simple wallet integrations that actually work, sustainable tokenomics that don't collapse, real ownership of your game items, meaning they can actually travel with you across different games instead of being locked in just one, and analytics that help predict issues before they become problems. Developers just plug in one API and they're live. From there, players actually own their digital assets, creators get revenue directly without the platform taking a cut, and there's no app store or marketplace skimming 30% off the top. Because it's built on Avalanche, everything settles instantly with minimal fees, and this creates a flywheel effect. More devs joining brings more players creates more activity, and all that activity makes the entire ecosystem more valuable for everyone involved. Now, here's where the opportunity comes in for you. Warp's entire network runs on validator nodes, and anyone can operate one. Think of them like toll booths on a highway. Every time a transaction happens on the network, your node helps process it and you receive a portion of the fees. Specifically, node operators are rewarded with 21% of the revenue generated sent directly to your wallet. There's two tiers. Pro nodes cost $500 to get started, and enterprise nodes at $5,000 give you access to bigger revenue shares, and all the fees come as WRP tokens, which you can stake for governance or hold for appreciation. The WRP token is launching on November 18th. Timing is everything with this opportunity. The node sales launched through Helium deploy not too long ago, so we're still in the early phase. But here's what makes this interesting. Avalanche is heating up right now, and Warp has active partnerships already distributing WRP rewards to node operators. Validators aren't waiting for some future launch. They're earning from real transactions happening today. Warp currently has over 15 games and applications in their pipeline, projected to handle millions of transactions once they scale. What we're seeing is like the early days of Helium, where people who set up nodes first locked in the best positions before the network got crowded. That same window is open right now with Warp. The shift to Web3 ownership isn't if, it's when. History shows that real rewards go to people who own the infrastructure, because all of the flashy apps are built on top of it. Once this goes mainstream, the premium node spots will already be taken. So let me walk you through how to get positioned. You can grab a Warp validator node through Helium deploy. There's no complicated hardware setup or technical knowledge required. Just cloud-based deployment that takes a few minutes. The pro tier is $500 or $450 with my code FireHustle for 10% off. You can either host the node on your own computer, or better yet, let a service like Deep handle everything so it's all hands off. That's what I do with all my nodes. The link is down in the description below. So here's how it works. Get your node, activate it through the dashboard in minutes, stake your WRP tokens, and track everything in real time. You're supporting real games and applications alive right now, and being rewarded from actual transactions today. As Avalanche grows and more developers migrate to Web3, your rewards scale up with it. Warp is proving this model actually works. You get genuine digital ownership that can't be taken away, everyone shares in the revenue fairly, and the technology can handle real mainstream scale. That Ubisoft disaster where they deleted people's paid games, well, that's exactly why this shift to true ownership has to happen. If you found value in this video, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned. And remember, this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any moves. Again, the link to secure your Warp node through Helium deploy is down in the description below, and you can use code FireHustle for 10% off. Stay safe out there, and let's keep stacking those wins. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.